Welcome to a brand new episode of Last Four, where I discuss the last four films I watched. I'm Mike Field from the Forgotten Cinema Podcast, and this week we're talking about a killer fungus, a killing machine from space, a time-traveling AI fighter, and the ultimate tale of corporate revenge. Let's go. Cold Storage, directed by Johnny Campbell. He did the Dracula miniseries from a couple years ago, written by David Koepp, based on his own book, starring Liam Neeson, Leslie Manville, Joe Carey, and Georgina Campbell. Although Carey and Campbell do most of the heavy lifting here. The fungus is among us, and it wants to eat us alive. Joe Carey is good, obviously. If you're fans of Stranger Things, you're going to be fans of what's going on here. He's really got a good hold of his character. The overall story is very interesting. It keeps me engaged. I kind of like the idea of an underground bunker that's got this like stuff hidden that they forgot long time forgotten about, and it's obviously a threat. So that's kind of a really cool storyline. The dialogue is funny. There's a moment where you see somebody who's clearly affected by the fungus, and one of the characters is like, "Oh, he's got COVID," which made me laugh. The opening of the movie is really good. How they set everything up, and the ending of the film kind of ends with a bang. So you have two good end caps for this movie. Liam Neeson, why are you in this movie? I mean, I love Liam Neeson. I love everything he's in. He's really awesome in The Grey, but I kind of wanted his role and Leslie Manville's role to flip. That would have been a little bit more interesting to me than what they gave us here, but nonetheless, that's a nitpick. Lots of CGI. I'm a practical guy. I like the practical effects, so that stuff works for me. So I kind of want a little bit more practical here, but I get why you use CGI. You just budget. And speaking of budget, it felt like a limited budget. I wanted more. I wanted a lot more in this film. But again, that's just me wanting more of the story. That's not really a negative. It's just I want more. There's a military angle in this film where the military is kind of anti what Neeson's trying to do. They're proposed to be as a threat, but it never really happens. It never comes to fruition. So they're just kind of like an empty threat. People who love David Koepp. I mean, have you seen Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? I like that film. Stir of Echoes. A lot of David Koepp has done a lot of films that he has written and directed, which I would recommend. I would recommend anything that he has written. He's a very good storyteller. Fans of Stranger Things, fans of Joe Carey, obviously Steve the Hare Harrington. You're going to be into this film if you like that. And fans of supernatural, horror or comedy, those elements, those genres, those are up front and center here in this film. So I highly recommend that. War Machine, directed by Patrick Hughes, who did The Man from Toronto, if you remember. Written also by Patrick Hughes and James Beaufort, starring Alan Ritchson. He is obviously of the Jack Reacher fame, the show on Netflix, on Prime Video. Stephen James, Dennis Quaid, Jai Courtney, and Esai Morales are all in this film. Not as much as it's mainly just Alan Ritchson's role. What if Iron Giant was half its size and set to kill from the jump? All right, what works? Alan Ritchson, obviously, if you like Reacher, which I do, this is basically Reacher fighting a reject from one of the RoboCop films, but obviously from space. So if you're into that and you like that, the action Reacher, and you like him as that Reacher character, as an actor, then you're gonna like this film. And I did. There's some really good action here, especially like when the Rangers in training are ambushed. So there's really some decent action here. The chase scene at the end of the film, kind of when they're in the truck towards the end, is good. Granted, it's loaded with CGI, but it's good. The dialogue is just okay. I mean, I wanted a little bit more. It's serviceable. It's just okay. With the exception of the main character, which in this is they all know my numbers. So 81 is their main character. There's little development of the team. Not a lot of them last long, but it's kind of tough to kind of connect with any other members of the team. I don't love the machine. I don't love the way that thing looks. Like I said in the opening, it looks kind of like one of RoboCop's ED-209s combined with like a broken toy from Toy Story. So I wasn't a huge fan of its design. And then the ending. I don't understand why we're wasting time building a world or building a sequel. I think you should just focus on the movie in front. I understand that there's that big speech at the end, and it's just okay. Again, this goes back to my dialogue is just okay. I think there was a lot of room for improvement there. People who love action films, people who love sci-fi movies. I mean, you're going to get it right here. Alan Ritchson's fans, people who love Jack Reacher, fans of Reacher, this is what you're going to get. And if that's what you want, this is what you're going to get. Good luck, have fun, don't die. Directed by Gore Verbinski. He's back. Directed the Pirates of the Caribbean films, the first three. Written by Matthew Robinson. He did The Invention of Lying, which is a very funny Ricky Gervais film. This movie stars Sam Rockwell, Juno Temple, Haley Lou Richardson, Michael Pena, and Zazie Beetz. Save the world, stop the AI, and then these zombie teenagers, and then a cat made of cats that looks like a giraffe. What's going on there? Sam Rockwell, but he's always good, so that shouldn't be a surprise. I like the vignette style of storytelling they do here. They kind of introduce each character in the beginning. They're all in one location, and then you kind of see what happened when they led up to this. They're all in a diner at the beginning of the film. You kind of learn like what's happened to them as they led up to this diner. I liked Ingrid's storyline. I would have liked to seen that full story as a movie, so I'd like to see her little vignette as just one movie. That's how much I liked that. AI as a villain. Look, that's not the fault of this movie, but it has just been used ad nauseum lately. It's everywhere. I get it. It's a new thing. Everyone's afraid of it. Everyone loves it. It's just the last 10 years, it's all we've gotten. And if you look back, you can go back even further where AI is probably like, the villain or the computer, the master computer that's going to control everything. It's in TV, it's in movies, it's everywhere. It's just, it's kind of, I'm kind of at the end of my rope there with it. But that's, again, that's always just me. At the end of the film, everything we went through, there's some stuff that happens that it just kind of seems like pointless. And while I understand that tactic in this type of storytelling, it just wears thin sometimes. The logic gets twisted in this film. Like time travel exists, but the AI doesn't do it on its own. I'm really unsure about that. So I just was confused. Fans of the show of Black Mirror, fans of the Twilight Zone, this is that type of storytelling. And if you love those dystopian, apocalyptic storytelling aspects or genres, then you'll like this film quite a bit. And bear in mind, I do like this movie. I have nitpicks. Fans of the surreal, fans of stories that mess with logic and differing timelines, but in a way that's messy and not explainable. If you like that kind of stuff, you'll love this film. All right, final film is Send Help, directed by Sam Raimi, written by Damian Shannon and Mark Swift. I'm sure you know Sam Raimi's lexicon of film, starring Rachel McAdams, Dylan O'Brien, and Edie Ismail. Do you hate your boss? Well, this movie's for you. The two leads, the back and forth on the island is you need your two leads to be strong in this film, and they are. McAdams in a Sam Raimi film feels like just like a perfect fit. Like she's almost perfect for this type of storytelling. The airplane scene, when everything starts off in the beginning, and the boar scene when Rachel McAdams' character has to, get the boar, are good. But there's a lot of CGI and it shows. It was like Linda killed Pumbaa in that boar scene. There's something that happens at the end of the film where you find out something about the island of itself. And I've seen it before. I've seen it in other films. I've seen it in other shows. It doesn't feel like quite that big of a shock when we see it. I'm just like, oh, of course, obviously. The ending of the movie, there are a lot of unanswered questions that I think need answering. And maybe that's just me being a completionist. I need to know the answers, but that's how I kind of felt at the end of the film. Like there's a time jump from at the end of the movie at the island and to the end where I'm just like, okay, well, how did this all happen? How was this possible? But that's just me. Fans of Sam Raimi films. I mean, there are some classic Sam Raimi moments in this movie. Like Drag Me to Hell. If you like that movie, you're going to like this film. You see some of this Raimi's elements in like the Spider-Man movies that he did and the Doctor Strange film that he did. So you do see those, but they're more prevalent here. Yes, there's gore in this movie, but it's more comedy than horror. So if you like your comedy with your horror, you'll like this film. I wouldn't really classify this as a horror movie. I know some people are. It's more of a comedy thriller. It's original. I mean, if that's what we all keep asking for, original films, and here we go. So we get it. thank you for watching another episode of Last Four. I hope you enjoyed it. I recommend all 4 films as I always do. We talked about a killer fungus, a killing machine from space, a time traveler trying to stop AI, and the ultimate corporate revenge story set on a desert island. As always, you can find us. You can find Last Four at ForgottenCinemaPodcast.com. You can find these episodes on our YouTube channel, which is the Forgotten Cinema channel. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. All that stuff that my partner Mike Butler says on the other show. I'm not really good with that, so I won't do that here. So, anyways, see you next time for the next 4 films that I watch.